Hello, how are you all this fine day? I hope that if you're here, you subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and you check out everything that's down below besides the like button. The description box is full of fun tidbits for you, so enjoy. And please ignore the fact that this is the same exact setting as probably the last thing I posted, because when you're in the energy, when you're in the moment, you just gotta get things done. So that's what we're doing here. And you might be wondering, why is this setting so seemingly dark but festive? But it's not so bright right now, and it's probably not that ideal lighting that you might look for in other things you watch. But what a perfect opportunity to share how to make a space more sensory friendly. Because if you're like me, this type of lighting that is, perhaps a little twinkle lights, but it's not super bright, it doesn't hurt your eyes, it doesn't cause any migraines, headaches, or any kind of overload. That's just, it's perfect. It's great. And there are a lot of places, especially just in public, that are not so sensory friendly. And these people and these places don't even know that they could be so disruptive to someone that is neurodiverse, because they're just so used to it, and there's just a level of sensitivity that with neurodiversity often comes sensory processing disorder, which just means that things that might not seem too bright or too loud or too disruptive could set someone off the edge of having a meltdown or just feeling so stressed out, overwhelmed. So when it's within your means to be able to control your environment to best support you, you gotta take advantage of that. And there are so many different resources and things out there that have different ideas and tips for you. So if and when I find those, they'll be down below. But having a space that is actually rejuvenating and actually recharges you is so important, because you might not even realize that there are factors that are draining you, because it's likely that other people that aren't neurodiverse don't even know that an environment can play such a pivotal role in your well-being. And it comes down to, what are you seeing? Our five senses. What are we seeing? What are we smelling? What are we hearing right now? And all the rest of them, because talking and thinking is hard. But as Olive adjusts her environment to make it best for her, it's important that when it's within your means to do so, that you do your best to just have a space, no matter how small it is, that you can have some sort of control over that best fits your needs. And only you know what's best. So if you don't know it already, explore it. See what kind of lighting you find best, or are there certain sounds that you really enjoy that might help you focus or relax? Is there a smell that might seem calming but is actually overwhelming to you? Just ask yourself these different questions and do some little research there about what kind of things can I have in place that are soothing, that are not so overwhelming, that are not going to provoke my senses. And I know there is some degree of privilege in that, of not everyone can control a certain amount of their space, let alone any of it. Some of us live with people that are not going to accommodate, or different school, work, whatever settings that you have to be in that you really can't control much of. And I acknowledge that that's a reality for a vast majority of people. But it's important to, when you are in settings that you might think you can't really do much about, just ask the question. Ask for the reasonable accommodation, which there are many different accommodations that you can ask for that are reasonable and should be done to support you. Whether it's having a different space set off from others, having noise canceling headphones, having dimmer lighting, having a room that doesn't have too many smells or strong odors going on. There are a lot of different things you can do, and you have the right to ask for what you need. I say this often, and I cannot say it enough. It is your right to have another accommodation, or to have any sort of accommodation. And your sensory processing, it's valid. And even if people don't understand that, you might not notice the temperature in the room, or you might not notice that someone's wearing a strong perfume. There are different factors that are at play that are so draining, that are almost unconscious. Even I can say that I'm not always aware of when an environment is exhausting, let alone everything else that's going on that can be social, that can be paying attention or having a certain degree of energy. That if an environment is already too overwhelming in my sensory processing, and then put on top having certain expectations or responsibilities, or having to mask, you're being set up to not do well. And you deserve to be in a space that actually lets you be your best self. So ask the questions that you deserve to ask, however you can communicate those. Ask yourself the questions of, what can I ask for that will best support me and make others aware of it so that they too can support you. Especially if that means living and working with other people. Because first off, that's not easy, but I think now of all times when so many people are at home, if they are privileged enough to do so, you know, it's important to be aware of those different things, and you can make a space more calming. You can ask for just having more public spaces that are specifically designed to be a calming sensory room, because those are things, they exist, and we need more of them. So I hope that this encourages you to find what really works best for you and to just be in a space, an environment that is good. Lack of better terms. That is supportive. Because you deserve that. So, with that, if you're not already, please subscribe, like this video, check out whatever I have down below, and I will see you all next time.